Welcome to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously.
And this episode is brought to you by Writers Clearinghouse. Visit writersch.com to get more information how to start your writing career off correctly.
All right, my name is Randy Lindsay, and with me here today is
Brock Booher.
Torsha Baker.
Janette Rallison.
Ta-da!
Hey,
Aaron
Aaron's
Blaylock.
back with us
and
today.
Aaron.
All right.
Dragged him back.
Yay! I finished
Kicking
my
and
homework
screaming.
early.
Okay, so today, the way the show goes, we're going to read a submission. Today we're doing the last page of a first chapter. And who's reading? Janette's reading. And if the rest of us think that an agent or editor would stop reading or reject it,
Ooh, I got the train.
we will abuse our buttons of power.
And we got to keep Aaron from taking the button home with
I
him today.
missed you so much.
Okay. All right. This is a royal facade. Sir Victor cleared his throat beside me, thankfully diverting my embarrassing thoughts. Good morning, Princess, he said, the corners of his eyes creasing pleasantly with his words. It's good to see you looking well. As it is you, Sir Victor, I returned with an appreciative dip of my chin. He was a nice man, nearly the same height as Sir James, with ebony hair and eyes as dark to match. He was married to a lovely woman, Lady Lydia, who he adored. They had 2 small boys and another baby on the way, expected any day. How is your wife? Has the baby come yet? I queried, my voice inflecting my exuberance. He chuckled at my question and its unrelenting frequency. No, not yet, but if my wife had it her way, the little ginger snap would have come last week. She's... ginger snap?
No. And this might be me. I'm lost. Who's the princess?
Oh,
Well, we're on the last page, though, too, of the first chapter.
So,
Right, but then immediately established that there's 2 guys. Am I wrong?
Wait.
Well,
Oh,
I think
I
he
thought
was
there was only 2
talking.
There's
Only
Sir
one of
James
them
and
is
Sir
the
Victor.
princess.
There's Sir James. That's what I'm saying. Did he call Sir James or Sir Victor? Because they're talking about Lady Lydia as if she's not there. I
Right.
may have missed something, but
Oh, Sir James, I don't think is actually here. I think she's just comparing his height to Sir James.
Okay.
Yes.
well, okay.
No?
Then who's the girl in the
We don't know
conversation?
what her name is.
Okay.
Oh, she's the
Because-
princess, though.
Okay, so
Well,
she's the I is the princess.
Right.
I think we're in her point of
Yes.
view.
Sorry,
Okay.
this may be a last page thing. I was just totally lost.
Yeah.
It appears,
Between-
if you read further, it appears that both Sir James and
Or they
Sir
both
Victor
know.
are both in the room.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
they
keep
are.
going.
There's 2 guys. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it appears,
I don't know who the princess is. That's why I buzzed it. This could be a last page thing. Sorry.
It's
Okay.
ginger snap. He doesn't like ginger. It's
Oh,
a
maybe.
thing.
Yes,
it's a
Such a
ginger
thing. Okay. Let me see. She's ready to burst. With all her grumbling, he smiled fondly, belying his exasperated sigh. You'd think the baby would want to just come already and do us all a favor. I shrugged his shoulder, raising a thoughtful brow. Perhaps the baby's just taking its time, relinquishing this. I knew you were gonna. I knew you were
it was
not
coming.
gonna let
Yeah.
raising
Saw my
a
hands
thoughtful brow
creeping.
slip by.
And actually, that's not even why I buzzed
Oh,
it, but
okay.
because no, and I don't know. I hope you guys can hear me. The reason I buzzed it is because I'm bored.
Oh.
So I'm sorry. I don't see any tension here. I don't see any kind of goals. I don't see any kind of conflict whatsoever. This is just a couple people having this pleasant conversation about whether or not this baby's gonna come, and you've lost my interest. So I was gonna wait until the very end to see if anything else was going on, but I'm like, man, if I was an agent, I just probably would put this down already. So think about that. You know, I don't know enough of the story because we're coming in at the last page to know where you can possibly add some kind of conflict. But there needs, I mean, if without conflict, I don't really think you have a story. So that's my thoughts.
First chapter, it's important.
That's my thoughts. Okay.
So they
Okay,
should kill
But
someone.
because
Somebody
because
should
I
die.
brought
That's
up
conflict.
the thoughtful brow, that almost seems like it's a point of view violation because when she's raising her, like, do you even think about it when you raise your brow? You're probably not saying like I'm purposely raising a thoughtful brow, like, so that seems like a point of view thing. Okay. All right, perhaps the baby's just thinking, just taking time relinquishing in the quiet before it enters your noisy household. Both the knights chuckled, joining in my good humor. Sir James tilted his head, winking covertly at me. Warmth spread over my body, intertwining through my heart. It felt wonderful to truly laugh with someone within the walls of the castle, with people who actually seemed to enjoy what I had to say.
And I'm gonna buzz it right there at the end, because right there I could put that down and never pick it up again. Everybody's happy, everything is wonderful. She's got a warm feeling in her heart, and she's there with two knights that love her, and one's about to have this wonderful baby, and life is just wonderful, and
No conflict.
yeah, no conflict, no tension, no reason.
What a lovely
to
story.
What a lovely story.
awesome.
Maybe it's a one chapter book, and this is
Maybe
the
it's
last
a
page
short
of the book.
Maybe this is
It's a
actually the
short
end of the whole
story.
book. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm a little
Yeah, this would be a good ending to the
It is a
entire
resolution.
book.
It feels like a
Yeah,
resolution.
it does. It feels like a complete
But not to the
resolution,
first chapter.
but not the end of a first chapter.
Right, you want to keep people up at night. Like,
Yes.
you want them to go, oh, I was just going to read a chapter and go to bed. Now I can't
Yeah.
because this thing happened.
There's nothing propelling us
Yeah.
to the next chapter.
You want people to call you, which they do, they call me, in the middle of the night and say, Randy, I hate you
Yeah.
because I can't sleep.
Yeah, that's
Right.
you
I
got to
got
give them a
fired
reason to
from
keep
my
reading.
job.
I
I got
did that
fired from my
last
job
night.
because I stayed up reading your book all night and couldn't perform the next day. That's the kind of
Yeah.
book you want to write. And this at the end, that's why I buzz it at the end, although the writing is good and it has a nice
Yeah, it's not
feel
just
to
smooth.
it, et cetera. It's smooth and the prose is good, et cetera. And Sir James and Sir Victor sound like lovely knights. If I knew that maybe, the baby was actually Sir Victor's when he thinks of Sir James or something, then maybe we might have some conflict. But
Yeah.
at this point, I'm just
His
like,
baby
this is wonderful, and I'll never pick this book up again. So
Yeah.
there's not enough
Okay,
tension in it,
sadly.
so.
So, okay, I also want to point out, where is the internal thought in this? Because I feel like you're telling us how the
Do we
people
still use
feel.
the internal thought police? Brad?
She is, we
Okay.
should.
Been a while.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Janette, at the end, warmth spread over my body, intertwining through my heart. It felt wonderful to truly laugh for someone with them. So there she
Right,
does
there's
get
a
it
trail of
started.
thought, but it's very
That's-
vague and.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I
They
wonder
were thinking
what
about
is she
raising their
actually
brow.
thinking.
What are her
So-
goals? Like, I have zero goal here. I have, I don't know what motivates
But
her.
to be fair, that might have been established early in the chapter.
Yes,
True.
and if it is, I still feel like we need to get
Yeah.
something here at the end, whether it is a new story question that's
That's-
gonna propel us through, whether it's a new character that kind of throws in a little bit of conflict in here. I mean, we've talked about this before, so I don't mean to be redundant, but it's just like everybody said, it's too much resolution. There's not conflict. There's nothing that is propelling me to want to turn the page and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
You
That
should put it right at the
springboard.
end of this, right at the end of this, and they live happily ever after.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's done.
and you'd be there.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
springboard into the next chapter is important. It should be. We should overstate this because it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is not just the first chapter. Chapter to chapter. That springboard into the next chapter. I know
And
Brock
scene
and
to
I are
scene.
pretty similar. We go scene to scene as we structure a
Yes.
story.
Mhm.
I think you just write straight through and then look for the springboard to break up your chapters. Is that
Yes.
right? So that it's really
Yeah, I tend to
important.
do
How
that
how
too.
you do it doesn't matter so much as that it's there.
Yeah.
That you don't have a break where they can actually take a break from your book.
absolutely, no pee breaks.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they can
Bladder
read on,
issues
they can
every time they
read
read.
on the toilet during the pee break. They might stay there for a while. I mean,
Wash
all
your
I've
hands,
done is,
people,
come
wash
on,
your
all I've
hands.
done
Randy,
is-
I did not bring up the toilet humor. I just want
I know.
that said.
That's
Okay,
where
all
this
right.
issue
I'm
went
just
off the
thinking,
rails.
Aaron's back.
No, I didn't
already.
get off. It was wrong.
We got the bathroom here.
Okay, so this would be a good time to say how we would rate this.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay.
What maybe some suggestions on making it better? Again, that maybe there's more that you're going to start the next chapter with some tension, and what you need to do is you simply stop this scene too soon, and you needed to move some from the next chapter to the end of this chapter so that you can bridge those two. What are there anything else we want to add?
No, we're gonna go on to judging.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So,
So,
want me to start?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a set simply because the writing is good, but this scene ends and I don't wanna keep reading. So there's nothing really wrong with the writing other than you
The lack
haven't
of
written it to
internal
where I
thought.
want to keep moving. So I don't know what's next in the next chapter where you put this break, but the break's at the wrong spot. So I'm gonna give this a.
Okay, so the writing is very smooth. However, there is no tension here. And really, the big key for judging the last page of a chapter, especially the first chapter, is do we have a read-on prompt? Are we compelled to move forward? And there is zero reason to move forward because we have a nice stopping point. So I'm going to give it a right.
I'm also going to give it a right for those reasons, but also, you know, here's the thing: is when you're writing a story, you have to have main characters, which you do. So you do have that, but you have to have conflict. You have to have goals, and you have to have something that's keeping that character from getting to those goals. I have none of that here. I don't really have a whole lot of her personality other than she seems like a very sweet girl. But I want more, like Janette said, internal thought, and that's how you can bring in her goals, what's keeping her from getting those goals, what motivates her to do what she's doing, those kinds of things. And again, we need to be compelled to read on, and there's nothing there that's compelling me to read on. So I'm going to give it a right. The writing isn't bad, but there's a lot of work that still needs to be done here, and that's why I give it a right.
Okay, and I'm gonna give it a right also, but I do think that the writing itself needs more work, because I feel like this first person point of view is really self-aware of, you know, like when she's changing her voice. Where is it? Yeah, my voice inflecting my exuberance. Would she really be thinking I'm showing my exuberance through my voice? That sounds like, no, that's the author telling you what she's thinking. So I want this more deeply in that first point of view, more internal thought.
Give her an example of how she can change that, because there is ways to do that where you can show her maybe grabbing their hands in excitement, you know, like you could bring that through action without telling us that she's exuberant.
Right.
Show us, right?
Yeah, or the easiest way would be to do it through those thoughts, to say, you know, I'm so baby hungry, or we don't know why she wants this baby, or maybe this is her best friend, or, you know, like whatever her reasons for being exuberant, show us that in her thoughts, and then you don't have to tell us that, you know, her voice rose in exuberance.
I give it a set, and I withdraw my buzzer, by the way. 'Cause she clearly is the princess. I just am not that bright. And that would have gotten that through reading the rest of the chapter. So I give it a set. It does lack tension. It does lack that springboard. I would like to speak in defense of the eyebrow, because I actually think she showed a little bit, just because it's, you know, she struggled against raising the eyebrow, and I think sometimes we do manage our facial expressions, and that is an example of internal thought. Like right now, she's not managing her; she's giving it. But I agree with what she said. That we do need more internal thought, more tension, and a springboard into the next chapter. But I say set.
Okay. So, did we get it right, or not? Leave a comment.
Raise your eyebrow and leave a comment.
That's
Raise your
right.
eyebrow and leave a
Not
comment.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to
Don't
Sometimes
forget
I
to
feel like we're
subscribe.
horrible people after the show. Sorry, I know
Yeah,
you're
you
really
can
smile.
comment. You can comment about how
need to
horrible
go
we
do
are.
charity later so we could
Yeah.
rack up our
That sounds
karma
hard.
points.
Our
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
We
So-
are trying to help, I promise.
Until next week, get ready.
Get set.
Right.
All right, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And don't forget that we have a new sponsor this year. Our friend Ben Grange with Writers Clearinghouse is offering all the prize support for this year. And the winner each month will get a first 10-page manuscript evaluation for free.
Yep, and then the winner of the full year is going to get a full manuscript critique
Wow.
from agents and editors, guys. These are top guys.
That have worked in the industry and really know their stuff. I mean, that's big. Okay, and then you can find out more about Ben Grange and the Writers Clearinghouse at www.writersch, as in clearinghouse, writersclearinghouse.com.